All right, we are back about the buckets post-game show for Game 5 Celtics versus Heat. Mike, we have been spot on about this series so far. not to pat ourselves on the back too much, but I mean it pretty much has gone how we've laid out here, man.
Yeah, man, it's pretty cool. In that regard, like it's like a good feeling. Like, yeah, we said this, we said that. You're
Yep.
100% right,
Yep.
but I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated because of the simple fact that injuries, and I'm not making an excuse for any team. I'm just saying what I didn't get to see what I wanted to see, and I wanted to see the two best teams in the Eastern Conference go to war.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And this is the tightest game that we've seen, and it ended up still being a 20-point something lead. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Even with that. And the formula has been simple since game one for Boston. You don't turn the ball over, you win.
Yep.
it's that simple, but
Yep.
it's just really a still a weird series. Um, because not only with injuries, and then you have like the starts from the first half and everything like
Yep.
that. And tonight, I'm sorry, uh it was that first half wasn't about defense. It was about a lot of bad basketball and missed shots, in my opinion.
Yeah.
My opinion.
No, I agree with you. I thought it was just kind of an ugly first half.
Yeah.
It wasn't really defense. It didn't remind me of any throwback mid 2000s Chicago Bulls or early 2000s Detroit Pistons games. Wasn't
Right. I
like
mean,
that.
no, no. I mean, defense was played, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh my God, they're locking them down. Boston missed a lot. Both teams missed a lot of shots, and it was just like, oh Lord.
Yep.
And Boston was getting what they wanted. They were getting what they wanted, and they weren't connecting. But man, that third quarter, that was it. And I'm not breaking any news here. We all know that, but that was it. That was it. Lights out. It sucks. Jimmy's not healthy. Bam, I don't know what the hell is up with him. You had
Yeah.
Grant Williams on you several times in the third and fourth quarter, and the crowd was begging Bam. You heard them. When he
Yep.
got the ball, they were like getting restless, like score, and
Yeah.
he passed it off. I don't
Yeah.
know what's up with him.
Yeah, it's it's kind of funny because you look at his box score and he
Decent.
yeah, he did what we asked, 18 points, 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
Definitely his second best game of the series, but there was still lacking some aggression if you go by the eye
Yeah.
test. And the Heat just they have yet to get a game where Jimmy plays like Jimmy
Right.
and Bam plays like Bam.
Yeah.
And even in their second best Bam game, like if Jimmy would have played how he has been these entire playoffs, the Heat would have been fine tonight,
I
Even
agree.
with Bam lacking a little bit of edge, like he put up 18 and 10. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's what we've been asking of him, right? Is his
Mm-hmm.
regular season numbers. I
Mm-hmm.
think he looked like at least regular season Bam tonight, right?
He did, but even still, it didn't look like it looked like the numbers looked like regular season
Mhm.
Bam, but like you said, he was lacking some aggression, and I'm just like, dude, you have Grant Williams on you,
Yep,
respectable defender. I get it, but
yep,
I'm sorry, 10 out of 10 times I'm taking Bam to do something. And it's not like if he wasn't out of position, he caught the ball in an area that he feels comfortable with. You know what I
yep,
mean? We've seen him hit jumpers from the elbow,
yep,
it's not like if he caught it, outside and beyond the arc or anything. So I don't know what's up with that. Jimmy's not himself. I know that you expect from Jimmy. They were asking him. I heard. I think it was after. It was a press conference after Game 4, and he was like, "Man, I'll be okay. There's nothing wrong. He didn't blame anything on health. I'm sorry.
yep,
He isn't right.
yep.
He isn't right. I
I
saw him
agree.
shooting. Yeah, I saw him shoot one or two air balls tonight, and I thought Vic was going to be more of a factor. That didn't happen. Duncan Robinson was a more of a factor, but again,
Yep.
play Gabe, play Gabe Vincent more.
You know, last post game we talked a lot about the rebounding differential, how Celtics had been dominating the boards. Dude, the Heat won in the rebounding category tonight.
Really
So
well.
a lot of things went the Heat's way, and they still just didn't stack up, man. Granted, Boston did have 10 more assists than the Heat did,
Okay.
But it's like this was an interesting game though, because a lot of the things that we were harping on at the end of last game, the Heat took care of them. But then there was, the other areas, right? Then they got killed in the assist category.
Yes.
It's just, I don't know. It's funny.
And they missed open shots.
Yep.
I'm wondering how many turnovers because Boston had a problem of holding on to the ball in the first half.
Yep.
So I'm wondering how many turnovers they had in that second half because that
Yep.
third quarter again is what blew it open for them. And it just seems like it's like if they literally turned on the switch. And I had a feeling that was going to happen. I said to myself, if anybody's going to come out differently and take a stranglehold in this game, it's going to be Boston. And
Yep.
I promise you, I have it right here. I have it right here. And at what time did I tweet it? I said the NBA is a game of runs, and
Hmm.
we all know that, but not tonight. Whoever has a run of 8 or more is going to win in this game.
Yep.
He's going to win this game. And right after that, I promise you, it was like clockwork. Jalen Brown made two back-to-back plays. He found Grant Williams in the corner for a three. And
Yep.
before that, he hit on a bucket, a nice drive, I think, to the basket. And then they went on a 10-0 run. Miami calls
Yep.
timeout. Lights out.
Yeah. I
Lights out.
mean, this game, it was kind of the inverse, but it kind of matched the pattern that we've seen of three tight quarters and one blowout quarter. This time it just went for the Celtics, right?
Yep. Yep.
But the differential, if you go first, second, fourth quarter, Heat plus three. But then just in the third quarter is Celtics by 16,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
we keep seeing that. It's making for kind of boring games to watch, that you just have one team punch the other in the mouth, and
Mm-hmm.
it's
And that's
usually
it.
yep, in the third
Yeah.
quarter, and then it's over. Like there's no punch back, there's nothing. It's just it
And
is what
that goes to, I think that goes to how dominant both teams are defensively. Because if one
Mhm.
team goes up big,
Yep,
it's you are climbing a mountain to get back in the game.
that's a good point. Yeah, no, I like that. So real quick, just want to bring up about the fans. I'm wearing my shirt. AB
That's an
helped me.
awesome shirt.
Yeah, right. It's my Rudy Gobert shirt.
It might as well say Jordan on it, like for
No,
Jordan.
it's the Salt Lake skyline with the mountains. Got the Eiffel Tower on. Yep. And then the hat. Um, I lied. We don't have a discount code this time. Next time we will. That's my fault.
Oh
Um,
man.
yeah, busy day
Wow.
today. Snuck up on me. And yeah, go to aboutthefans.com. We got some cool stuff. I think we might cheer for different basketball teams, but we all love the Hurricanes.
Yep.
I'm sure most of the people watching this are Canes fans just like us. So yeah, go check it out. We have tons of stuff that Canes fans will love. Um, so heading into game 6, Mike, I picked the Celtics in 6.
You did. You did. You did.
And we were down, Heat were down 2-1, and I said I still like the Celtics in 6, and I feel
And
pretty good about it.
you had a good reason to still because again, the formula didn't change all series long. You're like,
Yeah.
man, the Celtics really just have to take care of the basketball. That is
Yeah.
literally it. And remember how I told you after when we were doing a post game,
Yep.
after game four, I said even if the Celtics win game five, I am not sold on them closing it out in six at home.
Mhm.
I gotta go back on that. I gotta take it
Yeah.
back. I will be shocked if Miami comes back with a game seven.
Yeah.
And I say that because I think that I think it's hard for them to going to be over. I think it's going to be hard for them to overcome key injuries. I don't expect Hero to play. I don't
Yeah.
expect Lowry to be by himself. I don't expect Bam to just find the light switch and turn it on. Um, I don't know, man. Jimmy is the big one. He
For sure.
looks like a shell of himself,
Yeah.
and it sucks, man.
Yeah, and I want to be fair to Heat fans. I know they probably don't like hearing a lot of what we've said, but like Jimmy is clearly hurt.
Yeah.
When I made my prediction, I wasn't expecting Jimmy to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Heat would be showing a lot better in this series
Yeah.
if Jimmy was healthy, especially getting a 31-point game and then an
Yep.
18-point game from Bam. Um, I think it would be really competitive if we had playoff Jimmy, who I mean, he was very easily one of the top 4 players in this
In the
playoffs,
playoffs. Hell yeah.
maybe better,
Yeah.
maybe even higher than that. If he kept that pace through this series and, Bam's getting a little more frisky, um, it would have been really competitive.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is one of those series where I feel like by game 3, game 4, you kind of felt out what's happening, and
Yeah.
then it just kind of resolves.
Yeah.
That's a trend that I see in playoff basketball. Is the first 2 or 3 games, it's teams trading haymakers,
Mhm. Mhm.
and then by about game 4, you're like, okay, I think we know what this is. Like, both teams are kind of fully fleshed out. This
Yeah.
matchup
Yep.
is there. We have a big sample size now,
Yep.
and I think it's very clear what's going to happen.
Yep.
I think most series do that. It's they're not the exciting ones, right, where anything can happen. But I think a lot of series kind of have that vibe to them, right?
No, you're go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, I know I reference the Jazz a lot, but I watch every single one of their games. That
Right.
was Jazz Mavs, right? By game 4, I was like, this series is over. I think it went 6. It went either 5 or 6, but it was
I
like,
can't
yeah, this
remember.
is. I don't even need to watch the rest of these games. It's over. Um, and that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this one, especially if Jimmy's not healthy.
There's nothing wrong about what you said because I mean, n- 9 out of 10 times the better team wins in a best of
Yep.
seven. Okay, we've seen times where the better team doesn't win. That happens, but 9 out of 10 times the better team does win. And look, it's 3-2, and
Yep.
the Heat are hobbled. So are the
Yep.
Celtics,
Yep.
but the Heat are hobbled, but
Yeah.
it's still six. So what you
Yeah.
said is right, but um I think we talked about this, last time after Game 4, where in a series, like you said, it's around this time or after Game 2 or 3 or whatever. It's like, okay, each team knows what's coming.
Yep.
It's about how you do it, and it could be a subtle adjustment. You know what I
Yep.
mean? An extra pass or whatever it is, just a lineup change, something like that, or simple as home court. Who knows? Or somebody taking a shot that you're not expecting to. It's
Yep.
about how you execute, and not what you execute, because you give
Yep.
the other team the playbook at that point. Like
Yep.
schematically, nothing's going to really change.
For
But
sure.
you're spot on that. And like you said, in this series, like the margin of error was this close,
Yeah.
because whenever that team got it, whether it was a key turnover or steal or big shot or whatever, it was just one run that needed to end the game. And it's
Yep.
happened every game at
Yeah.
different points, whatever. But we saw it tonight in the third quarter. And I mean, just what a
Yeah.
job by Boston, like, and their coaching
Yeah.
staff, and Al Horford, man. That dude is just like
Yeah.
somebody call, somebody called him a Dominican daddy. Like okay, whatever, whatever, man. Big Poppy, uh, the basketball version of Big Poppy, and it's funny, he's in Boston. Big Poppy played for the Red Sox, but I'll be absolutely shocked, and I'll tip my hat to the Heat if they force a Game 7, dude, because that is like it'll epitomize everything that they talk about, the whole
Yeah.
culture thing and everything. I just don't see it happening. Jimmy's gonna have to gut one out. He's gonna have to go for close to 30. Um, Gabe Vince is going to have to show out. Vic Oladipo is going to have to show out. All these other guys that haven't, and I just good run, but the Heat proved to be a good regular season team,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's it. Did you see
Yeah.
what Embiid tweeted during the game?
No, I didn't. What did he say?
Miami needs another star.
Oh,
I don't
interesting.
know if that's cryptic or he's just watching the game and calling out the obvious, but that's what
Dude,
he tweeted.
the NBA is so dramatic, man. I love
It
it.
is.
I love it. I love the
Yep.
drama, but also sometimes I'm like, guys, come on. We're all grown men here.
I know,
Uh,
I know, I know.
yeah.
But
Um,
I that's one stat. It's definitely not gonna show in the box score. But I'm really interested to know how many times
yeah.
Boston turned the ball over in the second half
Yeah.
as opposed to the first.
So with Embiid tweeting that though, how many tweets or screenshots from the trade machine of Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Omer Yurtseven, and 2 first-round picks for Joel
Oh
Embiid do you
God,
think that we'll see tonight?
I'm sure that's probably how. Oh, the money works. Trade machine says it's gonna
Yeah, I
happen.
think.
and beat Miami. I mean, I already
Yeah,
saw a jersey swap. I already
yeah,
saw an edit with a, him hugging Jimmy in a Heat
yeah.
uniform.
Duncan
So
Robinson's only 24.
yeah,
How many tweets of that? Like
yeah,
anyone wants his $70
it's
million
yeah.
dollars.
Like, come on. But I wanted to ask you, man. Well, first of all, if we're gonna, whenever we're done talking about this game, I
Mhm.
really want to get into the if we can get into it, if you don't mind, this all
Yeah.
NBA first, second, and third teams because I'm annoyed.
Let's do it now. Let's do. I feel like there's not a ton to talk about. About the game. Anyways, it was, in my opinion, of a
It's
series
everything we
full of
thought about.
blowouts. That was my least
Yeah,
favorite game so far.
I don't blame you. I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you why I didn't dislike the game
yeah,
because even though we just agreed how the score in the first half really didn't have anything to do so much with defense and just a lot of bad basketball,
yeah.
I loved the score. I love the
Okay.
fact that it was tight and that just had me, like I said, it wasn't defensively dominated, but still I was just like, okay. I was
Yeah,
at the edge of my seat. I loved it. I mean, we're basketball junkies. We're crazy,
yeah,
so
yeah,
whatever. But yeah, man, this first, second, and third team. First thing, elephant in the room, there's gotta be a and maybe if it's not even a format
hmm,
or formula to follow, okay, like you gotta have this many games played, you gotta meet this
yeah,
requirement, this threshold, whatever.
yeah,
I think media needs to get their hands off of this because there's a lot of guys out there. I was listening to a lot of radio today, and
yeah,
a lot of former players, they talk about how they vote or how they know voting goes, and it's jacked up. It's
yeah,
jacked up. It's messed up. A lot of people have agendas. A lot of media guys, oh, he didn't give me an interview, and it's the human nature. They hold on to that. It's like
yeah,
that's ridiculous.
for sure.
So Embiid not making the first team, and
Yeah,
the guy finished second in MVP voting.
yeah,
That's a problem.
it
Okay.
is.
Now Jordan, I did my best, and I really think I removed my bias about this
Yeah,
one. Okay.
I saw your tweet. I know it's coming, but lay it on me.
I don't like LeBron on that third team, man. I don't
Okay,
like LeBron on that third team. The
okay,
man had a tremendous year. Okay,
yeah,
I will give that to him. Hell,
yeah,
I would have taken him this year.
yeah,
But the only argument that you can say about him is, oh, look what he did at his age,
yeah,
and it was amazing. But
yeah,
Russ led the Lakers in assists. Russ led the Lakers in rebounds, and I think in minutes played. You can argue Russ was as important to that losing team that didn't
yeah,
even make the play-in tournament as LeBron was. I know he
yeah,
wasn't the best player on that team. I know that.
yeah.
But I'm saying you can argue that he had as much of an impact, okay, on a losing team.
I think
Num-
I think I think you're right, but that's why they were so much worse than last year. It's because of how much of an
I
impact Russ
can't
had
argue with that.
on
I
that
can't
team.
argue with that at all. And it's like, okay, if you're going to put somebody that played not even 60 games
Yeah,
on the third team, you might as well put somebody that didn't play 60 games
yeah,
that is in the Eastern Conference Finals that actually means something to his team if he wasn't healthy. Jimmy
yeah,
Butler.
for sure.
Like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't like it at all. And
yeah,
I'm okay. Like, Jason Tatum said it earlier today, like after the shoot around, he said, I don't know how you pick the guys, but maybe it's just you pick the best 15, first
yeah.
team, second team, third team, and it's positionless,
I
but that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I think that should be the future. The unfortunate thing is that it would really skew the history books.
Yeah,
Um, and
it would.
uh, you just kind of have to make a decision on that though. Um, because you're right. Like we discussed last time how the NBA, like the future of the NBA is going to be bigger dudes with longer wingspans and they're taller so they can shoot over people.
Mm-hmm.
They're the size of traditional big men, but they
Mm-hmm.
play like point guards. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of already here. It's Giannis, it's Embiid, it's Jokic, right? Um, and that's the future. So the problem is like you get the log jam with Jokic and Embiid.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
were, you know, I mean, Giannis, honestly, Giannis could easily be considered just a center. And imagine if it
Yeah.
was one of those three got kicked to the third team, Like,
You know what I just thought of hearing you say, like it'll skew the history books. And I mean, this would too, but at least you can get another guy on that first team.
yeah,
Put in a six man on the all
yeah,
NBA first, second, and third team.
Yeah.
Put in a six man. Like forget okay, starting five or whatever. Just get a sixth
Yeah.
guy on there. You know what I
That's
mean?
not a
I
bad
don't know.
idea.
I don't know, but I don't have the answer. I just have a bunch of ideas. All I
Yeah.
know is that I think I forgot who said it, but for all NBA voting, I think they said it's like or all-star voting, the two are completely different. It's like
Yeah.
50% fans, 25% players, 25%
Yeah.
coaches, and it's like it's different for all NBA voting. It's like why?
Yeah.
Like I get it, all-star game is for the fans and everything like that, but for the fans, y'all like that? Like or about the fans. That
Yeah.
was a good
Right.
one. But I just something's got to happen. It's annoying and it got on my nerves, man,
It
because
is. I had a big issue with Devin Booker getting first team All NBA as well.
I
Like,
thought I was the only one.
no, what is that, dude? Like, I thought I was the only one. I was like, do people really think he's better than Chris Paul?
That or Curry, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, I just mean on his own team, because people are like
Oh, on
best
his own
player on the
team.
best
Okay.
team.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
like, since
Yeah.
when is
Chris
he the
Paul.
best player on the Suns?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
news to me.
Yeah. No,
Like
yeah.
you take Chris Paul off that team, they are back in the play-in. You take Devin Booker off that team,
They're
like
still rolling.
yeah,
They may not
yes.
have 50 whatever wins franchise record, but that's a playoff team.
Oh, for sure, dude. I mean, like Chris Paul went down, or he became hobbled in this Dallas series, and it was over just like that.
That's how important that guy. I mean, you're talking about remember the year that he was with OKC and they were like, oh, nobody even picked him to go to the
Yeah,
playoffs. And
I think they're
he
the fifth seed or something. The
yeah,
bubble year, yeah,
that's that is Chris Paul, Chris Paul, Chris Paul.
yeah,
All over the that to me, um, like in terms of true point guards, okay, and I'm talking about today in today's NBA,
yeah.
true point guards. Dame Lillard, I don't consider him a true point because
Agreed.
he's a scoring point guard.
Yeah,
I got one and two, CP3 and Rondo. I
yeah,
freaking love Rajon Rondo. I freaking love Rajon Rondo.
yeah,
As a true point guard,
yep,
he's the second best true point guard in the
yep.
NBA.
No love for Ricky Rubio.
I love Rubio. I forgot
He,
about him.
dude,
I
he was
forgot
pretty
about him.
good
No,
pre
he's damn good.
ACL.
No,
He
he's
was
damn good.
he had a great year as he's kind of sixth man in Cleveland, but before he tore up his knee, he was playing really well for
I
them.
forgot all about him. You're damn
Yep,
right. He's a damn good point guard. You're right.
yeah.
You're right.
I'm a big Rubio guy. He's
No, I don't blame you. I don't blame
yeah,
you. I remember his thing coming out was, oh, he can't shoot or whatever. But so what? That doesn't mean you can't be a great point guard just
yep,
because you can't, And he ended up getting better, like most guys do that come into the league that don't have a good jumper. You end up getting better, and he did. He
yeah,
has.
yep. So yeah, oh, here's trivia for you.
Mm.
The last 3 seasons, there are two dudes who have made All NBA first team every year. So 3 years in a row. Can you name them?
One is Luca.
Yeah,
The last
23-year-old Luca.
3 years,
Yeah,
two guys have made it in a
only
row.
two, only two.
Only
Yeah,
two.
yep.
Luca.
This one should be easier. Well, I feel like there's two obvious choices.
Oh, Giannis
It is Giannis, yeah.
and
Jokic
Giannis.
would be the other obvious choice, but the bubble year, he was actually second team. So,
He was second team.
yeah.
Okay.
So Jokic has been first team 3 out of the last 4, but not 3 consecutive.
Luca's how old is Luca? 23?
Yeah, dude. Turned 23 this year.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That dude again, and people have to be careful when they say this. I mean, you and I agree, but Mount Rushmore only has 4 people. Okay, if he keeps up at this, he is in the NBA Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Easy.
And I know I want to give a caveat here. Defensive analytics can be very misleading. So I'm
Yes, it
not
can.
hanging my hat on this, but just for everyone at home, I looked up his advanced stats in the playoffs this year
Oh boy.
versus Michael Jordan's in year 4,
Oh
the
shoot.
1986-87. Their defensive numbers for defensive win shares, defensive box plus minus, stuff like that, comparable.
Damn.
And I'm talking like Jordan would be like a 1.7 and Luka would be like a 1.5. So I just, I would never say that Luka's as good as Jordan on defense. Never, never. But I'm just saying, like, let's give him some time. Like
No,
he's
listen, you look.
he
The worst thing you do as a sports fan is knee jerk. So,
yeah.
and
You
you're
know
not
it.
doing that.
Yeah, I like Luca has I mean, what makes him incredible is his basketball IQ.
Hmm.
So, like, let's give him time to mature. I think the biggest thing Luca needs to do right now is mature mentally and emotionally.
Yeah.
I think he needs to hit that point that LeBron did when he got to Miami and think, like, I have to actually be the best, and that's an action. It's not it's not I'm the best because I'm LeBron. It's I'm gonna lose 20 pounds. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
immaculate care of my body. I'm going to be the smartest player on earth as well. I think Luca needs to get to that point. But I think if he got into shape, I think people will be surprised at how good of a defender he is because he makes smart defensive plays. He can stay with dudes on big possessions. I think his biggest issue is that he has like a 40 something percent usage rate.
Hmm.
He's going to get killed on defense by virtue of being the entire offense on the other end.
Hmm.
You know, I think Curry got a bad rap for that earlier, early in that Warriors run, that he was so vital on offense that he got taken advantage of on defense.
Hmm.
Um, So yeah, that's kind of my soapbox for the day. And sorry, let me say one more thing. I just remembered. I was watching an interview with JJ Redick and interviewing Luca just like 2 or 3 months ago, and they specifically asked him, "Why do you target guys?" Uh, who did they say in particular? They said, "We've noticed that you target guys." Shoot, and they named guys that are like good defenders, but they're
Hmm.
they're also like high usage guys on
Ooh.
offense. Um,
Uh-huh.
Shoot, I wanna say it was, like, Paul George,
Okay.
and they're
Ooh,
like,
okay.
"We noticed that you target Paul George, you target Chris Paul, they're good defenders, what's going on?" And he's like, "Dude, they're exhausted from running the offense all game, so in the 4th quarter," he's like, they're easy pickings."
Damn. Damn.
And he's
That's
like,
a
"It's not."
smart player.
Yeah, he said, "It's not because 'cause they're bad defenders, it's because they're exhausted."
That's a smart player. And you want to know that's two things with that. Number one, he's smart for picking up on that,
Yep.
but it takes one to know one. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if he's kind of giving up himself in saying that.
Yeah.
But I have two questions for you.
Mhm.
Number one, do you really want Luca to lose 20 pounds? That's
That's a
number
great
one.
question. That's a great question.
Number two, what kind of player? Because I don't think this is the best of Luca. Okay, I think he can get better, as crazy as that sounds.
Yep.
What kind of player can play next to him for us to see the max Luca?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what kind of player that is. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's a big. I don't know if it's a wing. If it is a wing, what kind of wing?
Yep. Well, so to answer your first question, that depends on his body composition.
Mm,
Because at least in that same JJ Redick interview, he's like, I have tree trunk legs. He's like, all my weight is
mhm,
from my waist to my knees. And he's like, I think that's deceiving to people. He's like, I have great positioning for that reason. Like, if that's the case, he probably wouldn't lose that. That's actually my body type. So I know from experience,
okay,
even when I'm trim, like tree trunk legs, still there.
okay, okay,
Like I'm still
okay,
not giving up my permission or my position because I got a low center of gravity.
okay.
If that's how Luca's build is, he's still gonna have the low center of gravity.
Yeah.
Um, but so 20 pounds might be a lot. Maybe if you lost 20 pounds of fat and converted some of that to muscle, you know,
Ooh, that's not fair. Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, you know what I mean though. Like
Uh-huh.
maybe if he is a little more cut, a little less
Yeah, yeah,
chubby.
yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
Um, but second, that's a tough question. Um, I think
Like,
his play style is very heliocentric in itself.
uh-huh.
So I don't know what he'd look like next to
He's a
another guy.
playmaker, he's a finisher, he's a
Yep,
scorer, he's everything. He's literally
yep,
everything on offense.
yep,
He can start a play, he can finish a play, he finds open guys.
yep,
Do you want him off the ball? We've never
yeah,
really seen him play off the ball.
Yeah.
Is he okay without the ball in his hands?
Yeah.
And you know one thing about his game that we don't see because he really doesn't have to, but you know he's capable of is that man could dominate from 10 feet in using
Yes.
his body. That's why I asked
Yep.
you about his 20 points. I mean his
Yep.
20 pounds. You really want that to happen, but he doesn't. Damn, the Heat went 7 of 45 from 3-point land today. Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's why I asked you about that because that's a part of his game that we don't see. And it's
No,
there.
that's very fair. And that's a great point. I mean, I guess, you know, the Mavs training staff needs to figure out the right balance,
Hmm.
because he clearly needs to be in better shape. I don't think anyone would question that.
Yeah.
His conditioning needs to get a little better. But you're very right in that he abuses dudes in the post. He really
Yeah,
does. It's a
man.
great
And
part of
think
his
about
game.
what he said about in the fourth quarter. Like a
Yeah.
guy that big, it's like, damn, I gotta defend this 230-pound, like Jesus Christ on the perimeter.
Yeah,
And he's not
defensive end.
yeah, it's not because he's beating because he's more athletic. Like he knows angles, he'll get you off
Yep.
balance, the step back, he can handle, and the
Yep.
dude's a load.
Yeah.
And I mean that in more ways than one. But
Yeah.
I can't. I just thought about the Heat lost 2 games in a row at home
Interesting.
in the playoffs, and I think they won their first they were undefeated up until this series at home.
Yeah. Interesting.
And
Um,
two, yeah.
I would well, here's a question I want to ask you. What would the Warriors look like if you just swap Steph and Luca? Because the Warriors in my mind are like, now granted, they only come around only once ever. But they're
Hmm.
like, the way their roster's constructed and the way that they run their offense is like the perfect antidote to the heliocentric offense, right? You have a guy that would be that dude. Steph would be James Harden if he played for that Rockets team or if he played for this Mavs team. Because what else would you do with him?
The thing is, I actually think because Steph plays off the ball all the time.
Yeah,
He's not for the greatest shooter that we've ever seen. He's not a ball dominant guy. Can he be sure? But if anybody's going to sit here and say
yeah,
Steph needs the ball in his hands to be great, they don't know what the hell they're talking about because that's 100% false.
yeah. Well, I agree with you. He clearly doesn't need it. But what I'm saying is switch him and Luca, and it's just Steph on this Mavs roster. Do you want the ball anywhere else?
No, of course I get it. No, I get
Yeah,
it. I
that's
get it.
more my point. Is like, what would the Mavs do if it was just Steph Curry and this team? Probably look fairly similar because it's not like you're putting the ball in Maxi Kleber's hands to do what Draymond Green does.
Right. True.
Now,
True.
that's a good point though. Could Luca do what Steph does? I don't think Luca's a good enough shooter to do what Steph does. So it would probably look different on the Warriors end. But
Yeah, I think it would be. And then not to say that they'll be bad, but they
yeah,
do a really good job of sharing the ball. And look, we've never seen Luca on a situation where
yeah,
he's like, "Oh, I'm surrounded by ballers. I don't have to do all this."
yep,
So, maybe he's doing it literally because he has to, but
yeah,
I would love to see him on a team that is stacked,
yeah.
just to see him.
So, question for you: would you rather see? I don't want to pick someone too good. I'm trying to think of. Okay, I got a good one. Okay, would you rather see Luca play with Clay Thompson? And I'm talking pre-injury Clay,
Okay.
very good player, right? But I'm talking the wing that can shoot, the wing that defends, and
Hmm.
you know, not ideal to have the ball in his hands, but he can handle it a little here and
Yeah,
there. Or would you rather see him with an elite rim running big? And I'm talking like Rudy Gobert or like what DeAndre Jordan was for Lob City or Tyson Chandler for the 2011 Mavs. You want to see an elite rim runner or do you want to see a guy on the perimeter?
a guy on the perimeter because I
Okay.
think that's gonna make Luca better.
Yeah.
I think another guy out on the perimeter that's an offensive threat. I
Mhm.
think that makes
Yeah.
you better. I mean, I played ball, and that's what I preferred.
Yeah.
Yeah, a big makes things easier in the fact that okay, they can get you second chances. You could dump it down
Yeah.
once you see that they have positioning, and if it's
Yep.
mismatches, whatever. But give me give me a running mate.
Yep.
Give me a running
Okay.
mate.
I get that. I mean, that is definitely where the league is going. Um, but I mean, yeah, I would love to see because just like the gravity of the way that Gobert bends a defense, when him and Conley do the pick and roll, like him and Mike
Hmm.
Conley have just been absurd when they're on the floor together, and
Okay.
it's uh I mean, it's because Conley's a weapon. He's a true point guard. We talked about that a little bit earlier, but like Gobert bends your defense in half when he's rolling to the rim with a head of steam, right?
Right.
Because leads the league in dunks every year. He's gonna smash it on your face, and it's an easy 2 points, right? That leaves open shooters everywhere. Like if people are scrambling to protect the rim, that's the best way to cause havoc on defense. And I mean, I think Luca has the offensive acumen to run point for a big guy like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he could make he could make DeAndre look like DeAndre, like he could be that Chris Paul.
Yeah,
He can make and I told people this. Oh,
yeah,
Clint Capella's good. I'm like, he's not like what are you watching?
yeah,
Like what is wrong with you? Like, come on. He's not terrible, but
yeah.
take Chris Paul off that team. Look what happened. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man. He's
He's
he's serviceable in Atlanta right
I
now.
I think Capella is like replacement value rim runner. Like he is
Yeah.
he is average, he's super vanilla. He's like the
Yeah.
most average rim runner that you could have, but you pair that with a good point guard
And
and
it's a
rim
it's
running
a
is devastating.
right.
It is. It wreaks havoc on a defense.
He's like a poor man's, and maybe not even a poor man's, but he's Nerlens Noel.
Yeah.
He's Nerlens Noel.
Yeah.
But damn, I was gonna say something. I forgot what it was. 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 You were talking about
Rim running.
rim running. Oh, I forgot. Damn it! I hate when that happens. I hate when
Yeah.
that happens.
I think so. What do you do if you're the Mavs? Jalen Brunson's a restricted free agent.
Hmm.
Is Brunson the kind of guy you're looking for, or do you maybe look to change it up a little bit if you're Dallas?
I'm bringing him back. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
looking to get better and keep my team, but ideally he starts right.
yeah, he does.
I'm looking to upgrade, and if I can upgrade and keep him, and that's a perfect guy off your bench.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, he can still get maybe starters minutes, and maybe he can even finish the game. Because it's all about finishing. It's not about starting. It's about finishing. He can still get 30 plus off the game. That guy is can win six man of the year.
yeah,
And if something goes down in your starting lineup and an injury, he's capable of
yeah,
balling. You know what I mean? But I am bringing him back, and I'm trying to upgrade. I'm not messing because we see that he can play. He can contribute in big
yeah,
time in Western Conference Finals.
yeah.
Excuse me. We've seen it. So, um, the only thing I want to see, and look, Jason Kidd is their coach, so I believe it can happen. It's that offense is a lot my turn, your turn.
For sure, absolutely. I think that's been my biggest gripe with how Luca has played this year is there's a lot of possessions where I don't know if he's tired. I don't know if he's trying to be a good teammate in the sense of like
Mm-hmm.
making sure Brunson gets his touches. But there's a lot of times that he'll come down like, by the hash mark on the baseline, by where the coaches are. He'll pass it to Brunson and he'll just chill there. Like
He'll just
doesn't
show
move.
you.
Yep, just
Well,
kind of like go do you, Brunson, like get your look. My turn, your turn. Exactly what you said. And they need to figure that out.
Rondo.
Yeah,
Rondo. I'm telling you, a point guard like that is magic.
yeah,
I'm telling you. You want to know why I love Rondo so much, man? Because people want to talk. He can still defend.
hmm,
Okay, that guy can. I've seen it. I've
yeah,
seen it. I've seen it. He can dominate a game, scoring 7 points.
yeah.
I've
Oh, you're
seen
right.
it. All right,
Yeah,
and I think it was 20. It was either 2017 or 2018. The man had 20. Christmas Eve. He had 25 assists.
Yeah.
25 assists, and I think it was against Brooklyn. That's a minimum of, and I say minimum because you don't know if any of these assists resulted in 3-point play. That's a minimum of 50 points
Yeah.
passing the ball. And so
It's a
he
lot.
is one. Look, it was the year that I forgot who he was. I think it was one of the years they were on the Lakers. He was on Lakers, or whatever. But they were playing the Mavs in the postseason, and their head coach at the time that was with Indiana, I'm forgetting his name.
Carlisle.
Rick Carlisle said he was calling out the plays from the bench. He
Yeah.
knew what we were running.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm sorry.
That's
Say
some
what the
serious
hell you
IQ.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Say what you want. That is a guy that you need on your team,
Yeah.
and I'm taking him on my team. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, I love Rondo.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the way Dallas could go, but dude, their salary cap situation is not ideal. I mean, they're paying Tim Hardaway Jr. like 20 million.
Oh,
So,
Jesus.
I liked THJ. I liked him under Carlisle when they played the Clippers.
Right.
Like he had a few games where he carried that team,
Yes, he did.
when Luka was off the floor, but
Mm-hmm.
he looked really bad under Jason Kidd this year. The Mavs actually hit their stride when he hurt his foot and went out
Oh
for the
man,
season.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
sucks.
He
Jeez.
he left the rotation and the Mavs really started to play good. And if you go to the Mavs like message boards or subreddit or whatever, people were just like, yeah, he's trash. Like he's not on this team moving forward, or an important piece of this team moving forward. So, and like, let's say he did figure it out. I
Uh-huh.
don't think it's good to put 2 6'3" guys next to Luca that can create. Like you
No.
don't want Tim
Mm.
Hardaway Jr. and Jalen Brunson as your dudes next to Luca.
He's 6'3"?
Yeah,
No way.
I'm pretty sure he's
No
little, isn't he?
way. I'm thinking he's like 6'5". Let me see. I'll pull it up right now.
Yeah.
Tim
Well,
Hardaway Jr.
Brunson looks like he's like
He's
5'11".
definitely. You want to know? I was thinking about this about Brunson the other day. His dad was a high school All-American. He
Uh-huh.
was the MVP of the All-American game. He was not a good. I'm not gonna say sucked. Okay, that was. I used to call guys that all the time. But if you're in the NBA, you don't suck. You're just not
Yeah.
as good as other people. But he was not a good NBA
Yeah.
player. Okay,
Yeah.
and it's just funny how you're not and your son is. And I was just
Yeah.
thinking about that. According to
You're right. I looked it up.
6'6".
Yep. So he is bigger than I thought. He doesn't defend though.
No, I know. Oh, I was letting you finish because I have personal accounts of him not defending. So he's from Miami, Florida, as you know,
Yeah.
right? Went to Palmetto Senior High School, not too far from Palmetto, on US one, a little bit north of Palmetto, Sunnyland Park.
Uh-huh.
Really one of the better, not I won't say one of the better, but one of the more known parks on the southern part of the county, where a
Uh-huh.
lot of people play ball at. And I used to go there all the time, like in my early and mid 20s, and play
Hmm.
ball every Saturday, kick ass,
Yeah.
take names.
Yeah.
And he was young. He was, because I'm older than him. He was young. He would go out there and he just was not good.
Really?
He Oh my God, he was not a good basketball player.
That's
He
funny.
got better in high school. It was like
Yeah.
literally from year to year. And then
Yeah.
he had a growth spurt. It was funny because dad would come out there,
Yeah.
drop him off, and leave. It's not like if dad would stay watching. It's like dad let him learn, like throwing him to the wolves, like go play, go, bye, I'll be back in 3 hours to pick you up.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
then Timmy will come back in his SUV and pick him up. And I can't sit here and say that I played against him because, like I said,
Yeah.
I'm older than him. So
Yeah.
at the time, I think, I don't know, I'm 38. He's what? According to Wikipedia, he's 30. So I'm not going to
Yeah.
play against a guy 8 years younger than me. But when I saw him play against people his age, like he was not good. Was not
Interesting.
good. Was not athletic. And
Yeah.
then it came out of nowhere that it happens like that sometimes. He's a
Yeah.
late bloomer. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah. I
cool
mean, he
story.
had some moments in the last 2 years, but like from everything I saw, everything I've read, like Mavs were not happy with him this year.
Damn,
Yeah.
that
So
sucks.
interesting to see what they do. I think if they do make a trade, he'll probably just be salary filler,
Mhm. Mhm.
but dude, there's
I
some
think this
teams.
offseason is gonna be crazy, man.
Yeah,
I
they're
think this offseason is gonna be nuts.
Mavs are a team that need Pat Riley because they need a who
A
doesn't need Pat Riley?
mathematician, yeah.
Yeah, they need a guy to take a whole bunch of really bad contracts and turn it into something valuable. um,
I
which is
was I
what.
was talking about the Heat with a friend of mine who's a Heat fan, and it's funny. Like I was thinking it, and he said it, and it was just like, wow, it's true. The Heat are go- are good at two really good things: identifying guys um that like fit like a system. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
Like Gabe Vincent and Duncan
yeah.
Robinson
But
and
here's the thing.
Caleb Martin,
Yes,
Max Trues.
they don't do anything when they leave.
Yeah, it's true.
Justice Winslow,
Yep.
nothing.
Yep.
What's the guy that won the slam dunk contest? He's with the Bulls right now. I'm forgetting his name.
I can't think of his name.
Uh, forgetting his name. The guy's skinny. He's like a went to Portland right after Miami, and then now he's with the Bulls. He comes off the Bulls bench. I can't forget. I can't remember his name. But he won a dunk contest a couple years ago. The
Yeah.
guy's a athletic freak when it comes to
Yeah.
amazing leaping ability. All these guys they don't do. The
Hassan,
center,
Hassan
Hassan
Whiteside.
Whiteside.
Yeah.
And not to say that he's terrible, but here he looked like the next coming of whatever.
Yeah. I watched him
And
all
it's
season, man.
I know.
Very solid backup. Very
He's not a
solid
bad
backup.
player.
No,
He's
he's
not
a
a bad
backup though.
player.
He's
He's
very
a
much a
backup.
backup. Yeah.
Very much I agree. But here these guys are like whoa, and
Yeah.
it's like the Heat find guys that just they play together and they know that's what it was. The Heat find guys that know their role and they don't mind
Yeah.
knowing their role. Like this is what I'm good at.
Yep. I think there's something. This might be an interesting topic to get into. There is so NBA players have ego, right?
Hmm.
Hopefully this hopefully where I'm taking this goes well. Um I've found in my own experiences, uh well, the Heat are like the Spurs dynasty where they excel in they don't cater to people's egos. It's very much an abundance mindset, right?
Hmm.
And I think that comes from confidence in their own abilities to identify talent. And it's kind of like, look, this is how we play.
Hmm.
And if you want to play like that, you can be on the Heat.
Yeah.
If you don't
Yeah.
want to play like that, good luck.
Our way or the
You
highway.
know? Yeah.
Very
And I
Belichick-ish.
I was going to make a comparison to dating, but that's kind of how dating is. It's like if you let people walk on you, they will, right? But
Yeah.
if you're very upfront, it's like, no, that's not how this is going to go. You have a choice. If this is how it's going to be with me,
Right.
and you can either accept that happily and will work fine, or you can take a hike because we're
Right.
not going to work.
Right.
And like people with that mindset in dating are way more successful than the people that are just kind of, you
Settle.
know, go for a ride.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just getting bossed around their whole life.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it.
Um, that's one of my complaints with the Jazz is like, dude, the Jazz got taken for an absolute ride by Gordon Hayward, and then he left.
Yeah, man.
And it's dude, same thing's happening with Donovan Mitchell. Like there was an article that came out probably 2 weeks ago just about all of the franchise changes that have happened to kind of appease Donovan. Um, it even said that like Donovan is helping with creative input on their rebrand. So he's helping them redesign their colors and their jerseys and stuff like that. All of his personal staff, whether it's security, stuff like that, they've been hired as team employees, so he doesn't have to pay them. Um,
Wow.
and it's like, dude, he hasn't even made All NBA yet. Like, what are you doing?
What year is he in the league?
This is his fifth season. He's good. Don't get me
He's
wrong.
good.
It's not
Yeah.
like
I
he's
mean,
bad, but he's
he's
like, I just made me think of some of my friends' nightmare dating stories that I've heard. It's like, you're doing that for that girl?
yeah, I mean,
Like,
wow. Like, yeah, you gotta show me something. I mean, I get it. You're in the Western
yeah.
Conference and everything like that, so that's never easy. But mm,
But I think to some extent, and I think it works with NBA teams, is that you kind of get what you ask for. If you're very rigid about your expectations,
yeah,
you will get a high quality output
yeah,
from the people you hire.
You don't
But
settle.
yep,
Yeah.
but if you're letting Gordon Hayward kind of grab you by the short hairs, I mean, it's you get what you get,
Yeah.
you
No, you're
know?
right, man. I never looked at it like that, but I had no idea that was going on for him. I didn't know that. I wasn't aware.
I didn't know it was that bad until that article came out, and it kind of made me sick to my stomach. I was like, no disrespect to Donovan Mitchell, great player, but man, the Jazz are setting themselves up for massive failure.
Hmm.
It's gonna be ugly, dude.
Where's he from?
I believe he's from New York.
Oh, he's from New York.
Yep. His dad was
Mm.
an employee for the Mets growing up. Then played ball at Louisville, but he went to like private schools in high school, and I think he went to a private school in like Greenwich, Connecticut, or something like that. You know, um,
Mm.
I don't know if he grew up in the private school crowd. It could have just been because he was good at basketball. I don't know. I know his dad worked for the Mets though,
But
so
he's a Northeasterner.
yeah,
Oh boy, that's an attraction, man.
yeah.
That's an attraction. And when is his contract up?
He just signed the extension, so
He
he
just signed an
has.
extension. Yeah. Okay.
It was a 5-year deal, but it was like a 4+1. So actually,
Okay.
was it a 4+1? Yeah. So just finished year one. He has 3 years under contract and then a fourth year in player option.
Okay. So he's not going anywhere for at least 3 years.
I think
Unless
I don't know,
unless
man.
you move him, he can't
I,
go
I
nowhere.
think he's gonna ask for it, dude.
Yeah. I mean, look, Gobert already did.
Yeah,
Are you guys gonna blow it up, or are you guys gonna just
I don't know.
build around Donovan Mitchell? You know what I mean? So
Well, I think what we should do versus what we will do is two different things. Because Gobert was more of like, "Hey, I'm tired of this crap." Like either
yeah.
pick the diva or pick a guy who just comes to work and takes less money to play in Utah and does all this stuff, or take the guy. Donovan won't even say that he wants to be in Utah long term.
Mm.
That's an issue for us, dude. We have
Yeah, of
that
course.
we have that small market mentality. I think the Jazz struggle from like wanting to be accepted on the big stage because people kind of laugh at us, and that's fine. But like, why are you not caring that Gobert wants to be here, but you desperately want Mitchell to be here? You know what I mean? That it's kind
That
of
stuff
weird.
matters. Yeah,
It's
that stuff
weird. It's
matters.
weird to me.
I'll talk to Dwayne Wade about it. Maybe he
Yeah,
can bring some of that heat juice
yeah.
over culture, whatever.
That's what I'm afraid of.
God.
If you can get Pat Riley over here, I'll listen. But
So let me ask you this:
yeah.
Boston makes it out. It's looking like it's gonna be Golden State Boston.
Yeah,
I got Golden State in. I'm gonna say. I want to say 6.
yeah,
I like defense.
yep.
I'm gonna say Golden State in 6.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Golden State in 6. I think Boston's defense does something to look. Is Smart gonna take Curry or Clay? Probably Curry. That's gonna be a matchup.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be
That's gonna
fun,
be a matchup.
especially if Smart plays really physically.
Hopefully he's healthy. Hopefully
Yeah,
Tatum's shoulders good. Hopefully Rob Williams is good because that's another low underrated matchup.
yeah.
Um, Robert Williams and
Draymond.
not Draymond. Robert Williams and Looney.
Oh yeah, dude.
Those guys are going to cancel each other out.
What's gonna be fun to watch is the basketball IQ battle between Draymond and Al Horford.
Ooh,
You know,
that's going to be there's a lot of good matchups in that
yeah.
series.
Those two dude, they're both smart. They both know basketball.
Clay and Tatum, they got
Yeah.
so hold up. Okay, look, let's match it up right now.
Okay.
Smart takes Curry,
Okay.
right?
Jalen Brown on Jordan Poole.
So Tatum is gonna be matchup wise, that's it. Tatum, Clay.
Yep.
Hey man, that's gonna be a good series.
Yeah. And then
Boston can give Golden State fits defensively.
yeah, they can, dude. Dude, having the 1, 2, 3 with Smart, Brown, Tatum, and then dude, Grant Williams is not bad. He's been a
No, he's
great
not.
defender this series.
Yeah. Yeah, even Bam doesn't want to shoot over him. So
Yeah, dude, Boston has a lot of dudes. If they're healthy, that's why I
wow.
picked them over the Heat, is because they can just, like I said, they can throw a 6'8" dude at you like in 5 different ways. you know?
Wow.
Yeah,
That is holy cow. And look, the Golden State's a jump shooting team. You get a defense underneath them
yeah,
that is annoying. That jump shooting goes away. But
yeah,
Golden State is great, and they're not stupid. And I think this is
yeah,
Kerr. I
yeah,
think because yes, Golden State changed basketball and everything like that, and they
yeah,
they um they're gonna want to shoot, right?
yeah,
But I think the Steve Kerr in them, because of Kerr, look, they came back the other night with twos. When they
yeah,
were down big against, was it game two? I think
yeah,
at home against Dallas, they
yep,
came back with twos and they ended up winning that game.
yeah,
They're not going to keep chucking it D'Antoni style.
yeah,
They're not going to do that. So let's say Boston gets them out of their rhythm, Golden State's going to take it to the rack. And they
yeah,
can. Steph,
yep,
his floater, Clay could put the ball on the ground,
yep.
Dre, but Jordan Poole, he loves getting in the lane.
He's so quick.
Damn, that is gonna be I hadn't thought about the matchups. That's a
Yeah,
great. Let's look up who won.
the
Well, I mean, they only
season
played
series.
twice, but I wonder how
Yeah,
that went. ESPN.
yeah.
Let me see.
Um, so while you're looking that up, I my initial gut reaction is like favoring Golden State, but
Mm-hmm.
it's with an asterisk for
Yeah,
part of it is the reasons we're talking about. Two, like if Jalen Brown plays really well on offense, then it's like I don't know if I'm ready to say Golden State's gonna win.
I was
But
watching him today. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
but
Uh-huh.
I mean I need Jalen Brown to average more than 20 a game in that series. If he
That's the thing.
doesn't, then then I'd be like, yeah, Golden State. Not sure if I feel 6 or 7, but man, if Jalen Brown's gonna be 20 plus per game, then it's like, ooh, that's gonna be good.
He's erratic, man. There's times that
Yeah,
he's going to the lane, and I feel like he's gonna fall because
yeah.
he looks like he's out of control sometimes. And all
Can't
of a
dribble.
sudden, and all of a sudden he puts the ball up, and it's like that went in.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And then tonight, like everybody was off, but then that second half he couldn't miss.
yeah.
He
He
couldn't
can't
miss.
dribble though. I
So
think that's his main problem.
yeah,
Like,
like he dribbles into the trap. Okay, so Friday, December 17th, Golden State at Boston. Golden State won 111 to 107. Tatum had
okay,
27 in that game. Smart had 8
yeah,
assists. And so when they played at Golden State in in March, they won 110 to 88. Tatum went for 80 for 26.
yeah.
They held Golden State to 88 points. Who didn't
Wow.
play? Let me look that up. Hold on, because there's no way in hell.
Yeah. You
So
know,
Jordan Poole had 29. He was 10 of 20.
okay.
And then the rest of the box score reads as follows. So Tatum, Horford, Robert Williams, Smart, Jalen Brown. The Boston Five started. Okay, yeah. Otto Porter, Kevon Looney, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole.
No
So
Draymond.
Dre didn't play. Well, Dre came off the bench, 22
Okay.
minutes, 2 points.
Okay.
But still,
You know, that is interesting because kind of Golden State, like where they've had so much success against Dallas in a way that Dallas can't recover, is going big. They throw out Dre and Kevon Looney, right?
damn. Sorry, let me turn this down because I
Mm.
can't hear you because it's in my ear. Okay, go ahead. Can you repeat that?
Yeah. So Golden State has had a lot of success against Dallas going big. Dre
Mm-hmm.
and Kevon Looney on the floor,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because Powell has not been playable. Dwight Powell, not playable this series. And Maxi Kleba, I mean, they're kind of just throwing Maxi Kleba to the Wolves on
Mm-hmm.
defense, just like protect the rim, Maxi. I mean, he's like, all right, I'll try, and it's not going well. Um, but Boston, they have two bigs. They have Al Horford, they have Rob Williams. They
Right.
also have Grant Williams. Like, say Golden State's like, no, we're just going to run Wiggins at the 4 and we're going to run Draymond at the 5. Boston's fine with
Tice.
that too. Yeah.
They got Tice.
Yep. They can throw Tice out there as well. But like they Boston has the perimeter dudes to match the
Mm-hmm.
small lineups with Golden State because they could run Smart, Brown, Tatum, Grant Williams, Rob Williams. You're switching everything on that
Yeah,
and
you are. And they
successfully.
switch anyway on defense, so
Yep,
that's what they do. Yeah.
and you can switch successfully with that.
Defensively, Golden State, they got three big. They got Looney. You can say Green. Don't forget about Kaminga.
Mhm.
Forget and I think Wiseman is going to be available for the finals.
Yeah, I have a
I was.
conspiracy theory about him.
Oh God, let me hear it.
My NBA conspiracy theory. I think they shut him down on purpose because he's not ready for their rotation if they want to play serious basketball, but they also don't want to kill his trade value. So I think they put him on a
That's
shelf and they're going to deal with him this offseason. Because the thing is, like, if you go to trade him, he's a former number 2 pick. Is that right?
yeah. He's definitely top two. I think he wasn't number
Imagine
one.
trying to trade him when it's like, hey, why didn't he play in the playoffs? It's like, oh, he wasn't good enough. But but give me your good player for him. People will be like, no,
Right.
thanks.
Right.
You know, I have a feeling that they shelved him so
I
they
wouldn't
can
doubt it. That's
so
smart.
yeah, so that they can trade him to a different team this year. And that
S-
doesn't mean he sucks. I just think
No,
that the
hell no. That
Warriors
guy's
were
going to be a good player.
I think the Warriors were just looking at him like, we can't play Warriors basketball and contend for a title by giving Wiseman meaningful minutes this year.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I
Oh,
That's
man,
just my guess. He was bad in his first season. Like he showed flashes, but
he
I don't
did.
think he made his team better.
No, 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 he didn't. I mean, the guy, look, the guy didn't even really play at college. His only
Yeah.
season in college was cut short. I don't even think he played 10 games
Yeah.
because of that trouble he got into, whatever it was. It wasn't his fault. I don't remember the whole thing, but it was trash. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to be a transition for him
Yep.
because of that alone. And then you never really know how a guy,
Yeah.
even a 4-year, veteran in college,
Yeah.
how that guy transitions into the league.
Yep.
And we talked about the league. What the guy has skills.
Yep.
He's a big and everything like that. And he can move. He's athletic. He's not
Yep.
like awkward, and everything like that. So I think he has value in this league.
For
I think he's
sure.
gonna. I think he's just. It's one of those things that he needs. He needs the minutes. A
Yeah.
lot like Jimmy Butler, man. And
Well,
again, I love saying this.
yeah.
I called Jimmy Butler an all-star in 2011.
Yeah.
I just saw him. I'm like, that guy's gonna be an all-star,
Yeah.
and I got laughed at. But
Yeah.
I'm laughing now. But
Yeah.
I hope that's the case with Wiseman because I'm a
Yeah.
fan, and I thought it was a perfect fit for Golden State when they drafted. I'm like, man, this is
Yeah.
now they have a big and
Yeah.
athletic big that doesn't demand the ball. Like this is gonna be
Yeah.
heaven for him.
Yeah, I just don't think he was ready for the NBA, and that's
No,
fine.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think he would do great on a team that was rebuilding. There's actually one of the hot rumors, I don't know if it was more national or just kind of local, but one of the hot rumors was that, the team that is in the hottest pursuit of Gobert, at least before they were in the finals, was Golden State, and that
Mm.
the package would be something like, Wiseman, Wiggins, Moody for Gobert.
Oof.
And dude, but if Wiseman's healthy and not playing, you can't trade him for a guy who's made all NBA teams in Gobert.
That's why they're offering so much,
Yeah,
and maybe even a pick in there. Who knows?
yeah. I
But
mean, if I was the Jazz, I'd just be like, give us Kuminga over Moody, and we'll do that.
Kaminga's that's it. I like his athletic, and that
Yeah,
guy's getting better.
yeah.
That
But
that's how I thought Wiseman was going to play. I thought Wiseman was going to be the type of player for Golden State where clearly the fourth option, and he was
yeah,
fine with it, but you can draw up plays for him
yeah. I
because you
I mean,
can.
he probably would have, but he's only played 27 games as a
Look
pro.
at that, man.
So, I mean, he had injury issues in his rookie season, and I think it just got to the point where it's like, the Warriors play a very high IQ offensive system. Like you have to know basketball to play with the Warriors. And I
They shouldn't
think
give up on him, man.
I agree. I just don't think he's gotten the reps to play meaningful basketball with them. And so I think if you're the Warriors and that's how you feel, it's like we need to win titles before Steph leaves. You got to trade him for another impact player.
Yeah,
You know,
I see
trade
that.
him. trade him for whoever's available, Jeremy
Mhm.
Grant.
Mhm.
Like, could you imagine if Detroit was just like, yeah, we'll take Wiseman for Jeremy Grant? You have to give us a little extra or something, but or no, they'd get more back. But you get what I'm
Nice.
saying, though. Is like Golden State should look for high impact players that extend Curry's window
Yeah.
because I would bet my town home that Wiseman won't ever be as good as Curry. you know, so like you got to win titles while Steph is there.
Yeah. No, I think their chances of them getting one this year are good, but again,
Yeah,
I never actually broke down the matchups in my head,
yeah,
and that series
it's intriguing.
can be a lot better than a lot of people think, or at least
Yeah,
me. I can't speak for everyone,
yeah.
but damn.
One thing though is you never really know how good the conferences are in comparison to each other until you get to the finals.
Mhm. No,
You
you're
know,
right, and they only
because
play twice.
yeah, because it could just be like it comes out and Golden State just punches the Celtics in the mouth the first 2 times. It's just like, oh, like the West was just on another level. Or it could be the inverse, right? It could be the inverse. It could be that Boston comes out and smothers the Warriors, and we're like, oh yeah,
We're
this
just
isn't.
as good, like,
Yep, it's
we're
like
here,
it's not the
yeah.
2017 Warriors anymore.
I just made up my mind. It is gonna be a good series, and it's not gonna go 7. I'm gonna tell you why it's not gonna go 7, and nobody's talking about this, and I don't get why.
Uh-huh.
Golden State's pissed off, right?
Yeah,
They're pissed off because they feel disrespected.
yeah,
They are playing with a chip on their shoulder.
that's a good
People,
point.
because this dynasty was over.
Yeah,
Was over. People gave up on them. Oh, Clay's done. KD's out. It's over. And in the back of my mind, I found it so irresponsible for
yeah,
people to sit here and say that because I'm like, you just saw what happened to Clay, right?
yeah,
He's hurt. He's not 50 years old. He's
yeah,
gonna come back, okay?
yeah,
He gets hurt again. Steph breaks his freaking wrist,
yeah,
okay? In the meanwhile, guess what's happening? All these young guys are developing. Steve Kerr is still there. Draymond is still there.
yeah.
The culture is still there. And guess what? 2 years later, that core is still there. Hello, guys. This core won how many? They won one without KD, right?
I,
And they won two with him.
yeah, I think 3 total.
Okay, so they've won without KD. That core is there. This core
Yeah,
won 3 championships together. Okay,
yeah,
KD was icing on the cake. And they're older now, but they're better. You know how it is when you're a basketball player. You
yeah,
lose something athletically, but you gain it up here. That's what's
yep,
happening with these guys. Their
yep,
defense is still formidable, okay?
yep,
And I think that their championship medal and their championship resolve is going to shine through
yeah,
at certain points when
for
Boss
sure.
hasn't been there yet. And, two coaches are going to be going at it, two good coaches. But I think experience is going
Rookie
to play a big
coach.
deal. Rookie coach. Experience is going to play a
Yeah,
big deal in that series. But Golden State's gonna be like, nah, hold up. We have unfinished business, and they won three
yeah,
titles in the past like 10 years.
yeah.
Golden State's gonna win,
You sold
and
me.
I'm gonna say 6 games.
You sold me. I'll take Golden State in 6.
I think it's
No,
gonna be in 6 games.
dude, you hit the nail on the head. I agree. I didn't consider the edge that they were going to be playing with, but you're
Yeah,
100% right. And the
like even
coaching, Kerr
in the
versus Ime Udoka, like
oh, that's
I
gonna
think
be
Kerr's good. I don't think Kerr is like one of the 3 best, but
okay.
he's been
Fair,
there. He's been there and he's
right,
done everything, right?
right.
As good as Ime is, like
That counts for something.
it does count for something. I agree. And I think you brought up the Warriors' resolve, their mettle, their experience. It's already showing itself in the fact that Dallas can't hold a lead to save their life.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
Luka's the best player in that series, no disrespect to
Mm-hmm.
Curry. I don't care
No,
what anyone
no,
says.
no, no.
Like, they're building these big leads, and the Warriors just chip away as the game winds down, as
It's
it
like, all
gets
right,
slower,
guys.
as, Luka's having a hard time penetrating because, everyone's playing a little tighter as the game winds down. And the Warriors they have too many weapons. They play too smart. Because, dude, if you lock down Curry, Poole can easily go for 30 on
Oh
any
yeah.
night.
Yep.
Okay.
He had 29 in their first meeting
Yep. You're not
against
locking
Boston.
down Curry and Poole.
No. For Boston to win this series, you got to have multiple bad shooting nights for Golden State. Let's just be
Yeah,
honest,
for
okay?
sure.
Multiple bad shooting nights. You're gonna have to win one at Golden State. I'm
Yeah,
not saying it's impossible, but you gotta have to win at least one on the road,
yep,
right? Or are you?
yeah.
Who's gonna be
It's
the home
Golden
court?
State will be home
Golden
team.
State. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, 47 and 23.
yep.
And oh my God, check this out. Oh, I wish I remember the number. In the past 5 years,
Uh-huh.
regular season wise, Golden State hasn't even lost 10 games at home.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
it's impressive.
that's fucking impressive. That when I read that and I not it was I didn't read it. I heard I was like, no, that's gotta be like what?
Yeah,
And
that's
then they
fake.
listed them. They're like, nah, like I was like, wow. And I
Yeah,
think the number was 5.
yeah,
I think the number was 5. And wait, hold up, wait, not. And they of course they weren't counting, the year that Steph was. They weren't counting
yeah,
that year because they didn't make the playoffs that year, right?
yeah,
So I think that's what they said. But and I think it's fair to leave that year out. Like that
yeah,
was a Golden State. That was a G
yeah,
League team.
yeah, for sure,
So,
dude.
but even still, it's gonna be a good series.
I watched last thing, and then let's wrap up. But I watched like a quick highlight reel of it was kind of like the best of LeBron across
Mm-hmm.
their 4 finals
Mm-hmm.
meetings. It was 4 years in a row.
Mm-hmm. It was
And
right. Yeah.
dude, him taking on the greatest team of all time, and granted, he went 1-3, but like, oh my gosh, one
No,
dude,
the guy didn't he average in those finals? He able to average a triple double twice.
yeah. And in one of the series, I think it was the first one with Dellavedova and Timofey Mozgov, that he led the entire series, both teams in points, assists, rebounds, steals, and blocks.
That's.
Both teams, yeah,
I mean, he was the entire team for Cleveland,
yeah,
and I can see that with Golden State because they share the ball a lot. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Offensively, but defense. I mean, rebounds like that's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a team with what was his name? What was Lee's first name?
David Lee,
David Lee. That guy
Andrew
was
Bogut,
underrated.
yeah,
Bogut. You know, what my favorite guy off the bench on that team was Sean Livingston. I love Sean
yeah,
Livingston. I think
yeah.
that guy was
Harrison Barnes and
Barbosa,
Iguodala,
Barnes, Iguodala.
yeah,
And that's another guy that I think is going to come back in the finals,
yeah,
Iguodala, and you can't discount his experience.
yeah.
That's another
Agreed.
defensive guy that you can, whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's going to be a good series.
That's yeah, man. It's the Warriors have given us some good basketball. Honestly, I can't stand him. Draymond Green, maybe my least favorite player in the NBA,
I love
but I
him.
respect him. He's a very smart, savvy player. I think he gets the easiest technical foul whistle on the entire planet.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
He should
Him
he's
and Boogie. Boogie still gets an easy whistle, and I don't
Yeah,
understand it.
yeah. Draymond should probably be ejected from like 30% of the games that he plays. If you just call it by the rule book, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm. No,
him
I hear.
flying up the court to yell in the ref's face and all the gestures he's making and
Yeah,
stuff. It's like any other player would get teed up for that. No,
I'm
he
glad that
doesn't.
they don't. I'm glad because
Yeah,
he I just like him, man. My
yeah,
my friend argues all the time that Mike, the money that he's making, he's not worth it. I'm like, you're saying that because of his stats, but that
yeah.
his value to the team is
Agreed.
unbelievable. And I compare it to this. I'm like, look at their record when Clay was out.
Yeah,
They were winning,
yeah,
okay?
yeah,
And when Dre went down, they were not.
yeah. He's there's no I dislike almost everything about Draymond, but he's worth a blank check to the Warriors. Like he's
Yeah.
indispensable from that team, no doubt.
And he is the one that's gonna remind everybody. You
Yeah.
remember you said that we were done, right?
Yeah, right?
Because it
Oh, I'm
was
sure.
him and it was him when they lost to Toronto and they were like he was like, you guys think we're done?
Yeah.
Like what? And like, nah, this dynasty, we're still a dynasty. And
Yeah.
I'm here like, yeah, they're just injured right now.
Yeah.
They lost in 6 games with their JV squad
Yeah.
to an average Toronto team.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. But yeah,
Dude,
I
whoever
can't wait.
came out of the East was winning that series. Like Philly would have won it. Milwaukee would have won it against that. No Clay, no Kevin Durant. Like,
Yeah,
man,
man. Like, come
whatever.
on.
That was the biggest gimme finals of all time.
It was, and I get it. You did what you're supposed to do. You better win that series with a C minus Golden State team. You better.
Yeah.
But like Clay had to go down. Like, come on. Like
Yeah. Durant went down too.
Durant went down. Like that's just.
I think was that the one that Kevon Looney was playing with a brace because he separated his shoulder or
I
broke
think
his
so.
collarbone or something. So he had like
Yes.
he had a big
Something.
harness like holding his
Yeah.
arm onto his body.
Yeah. And it still went 6.
Yep.
That series went 6 games.
Yep.
You know. But yeah, man.
Yep.
I got the dubs.
Yep. I'm with you. Dubs and 6. All right. We're signing off. Thank you guys for tuning in. Mike, love talking hoops with you, man.
Same man. Yep. It's fun. It's been an hour 15. Jesus Christ.
Right.
Oh wow, yeah, it's bedtime, dude.
it feels like a half hour though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone go to aboutthefans.com, check out our merch. Good stuff. Our guy AB is brilliant. So all right. Talk to you guys later.
Later, man.